The college football experience, East Carolina Pirates 2022 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, presented by WynnBET. Bet $50 at WynnBET and get $200 in free bets. Bet big, win bigger with WynnBET. Download the WynnBET app now or visit wynnbet.com. That's WYNNBet.com and start winning today. We're also brought to you by Sleeper. You already play fantasy on Sleeper, but now you can win cold hard cash with their over under game. Just head to sleeper.com/SGP on your phone to join the SGPN group, and Sleeper will automatically match your first deposit up to $100. That's sleeper.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by us. Yes, the SGPN app is live in the App Store and Google Play Store. It is free to download, and it is your home for all of our free picks and podcasts. So grab that thing today and let it ride.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience, East Carolina Pirates season preview episode. ECU. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
Nobody knows nothing. Somebody knows. Double the price, but no one touches Dundee.
Yes, we are here. We are free at last, Patty C, to talk about the Pirates. Normally,
the one and only.
Yes, the one and only. All right, there's no one else. All right, no Devils, no Sun Devils.
Can we just get the tune going right off the top?
We can, but first, let me introduce former JMU Duke defensive back. Give it up for the burrito eating, sideline kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing, Patty C in the place to be.
Hi-oh. Up. There it is. There it is. Bring us home.
In the spirit of ECU, we believe every moment. There was nothing that we couldn't do. We set out to defend our name, and now we'll never be the same. Never be the same.
Extended version gets me deep. Man, this turned into a blues tune here.
I mean, it's such a great song. There's, look, the ECU Pirates are the greatest team in all the land. We know this. I normally crowbar this on every episode, but today we solely get to talk about the East Carolina Pirates, Patty C.
Colby's been looking forward to this one.
Oh, this is the year. I've been feeling this one for a long time. Last year I was on board a little bit, but I couldn't wait for year 4.
Well,
because Mike Houston, former JMU Duke,
great man,
won a national championship at JMU.
Yeah, forever in our hearts in Harrisonburg.
And he's in year 4. He's been building the Scotty Montgomery. Left this program in complete shit. As far as I'm concerned, he's public enemy number 1 when it comes to America. All right,
3-9 seasons under Scotty Montgomery,
and it's the way we lost in all those games. We lost by like 50.
Yeah,
every week,
especially against NC State.
Yeah,
ugly look.
He was terrible, and it's been just a really good program over the years, Patty C. And you know what? This is the East Carolina Pirates we're talking about. We're back to the days of Pat Dye and Ernest Biner and Tony Collins. All right,
boom.
To the days of Jeff Blake, 91. 1991, what is it? 11-1 season? 10-1 season?
11-1. Yes, indeed. Peach Bowl victory.
Beat NC State in the Peach Bowl when they played that game outdoors and not in that filthy fucking dome.
Hey, that's believing it.
Yes.
In the Pirates.
ECU's been doing it. Chris Johnson.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you go on and on and on. Skip Holtz, look what he's doing, taking the USFL by storm. Lincoln Riley, oh, USC, you're going to give him a house with 40 fucking bedrooms? Well, guess where he earned his name? Greenville, North Carolina, baby, when he was whooping the tar out of Virginia Tech every year. And then they said, hey, we don't want to schedule ECU anymore. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. We'll go out there. We'll beat other teams. All right. Scotty Montgomery set us back.
Well,
and here we
tell
are.
you what.
Shout out to Ruffin McNeil.
ECU set themselves back.
Yeah, it's true. That was one of the toughest days of my life.
4 bowl appearances in 6 years, right? I mean, prior to that, bowls hadn't been exactly, I guess like you mentioned before, bowls were harder to come by in the 90s and prior to that. So, Skip Holtz went to a share of bowls. I think his last 4 years there, they went to bowls. But Ruffin McNeil comes in four bowls in 6 years. Pretty darn good, and they still fire him after
a 5-7 season when his quarterback tears his ACL the year before or the week before the season starts. And by the way, that quarterback went on to play in the NFL, Kurt Benkert.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous to fire him. 5
straight years without more than 4 wins. That's your punishment. But finally, Mike Houston rights the pirate ship. And 7-5 should have gone bowling last year for the
but first. Boston College, we did go to the bowl game. We just didn't play because you need an opponent, and those cowards on Chestnut Hill.
The ACC is scared of ECU.
They are.
Let's be honest here.
They are. And when you look, Patty C, this has been a rich program. Honestly, you go back to the '60s. You go back to each decade. I feel like the program started in '46. Oh no. Actually, a little bit before. If you everything it went starting in the 1950s when it really started to do all right.
Took off.
Yeah, and then in the
1932 officially the start as an independent, but
back in the SoCon, used to be in the SoCon back in the day. But then they won an Independence Bowl back in '78. Look at that. Look what Pat Dye had this program rolling. And then my guy Steve Logan. Shout out to Steve Logan. Anyone know Steve Logan? We would love to get him on the show. We love what he's about. And, do I need to cue up some Steve Logan?
Give us some Steve.
Because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina. You don't come to East Carolina. You don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it.
Write it, Patty C. Write it. Shout out to Coach Logan. What a guy. But yeah, I mean, look, this program has over the past 20 years, 30 years had great success. There's, we've owned, I feel like a lot of those years, minus the Scotty Montgomery years, we've gotten the best of a lot of the Carolina schools, if not all of them.
Yep.
And Miami Hurricanes, we were a thorn in the Miami Hurricanes side in the 90s. Got a couple big time wins against them.
Well, I'll tell you what, against the class of the current American for a short time longer, you started out from 1986 to 2001 winning 12 of your first 14 against Cincinnati. Since then, it's been a rough run. But
we're gonna fix that. Shout out to my guy Jeff Blake too. I got to mention Jeff Blake, friend of the program, been on the show before. Great guy, legend down there in Greenville. And Patty C, if you just watched the College Baseball World Series, ECU, I knew they blew that game against Texas, but boy, did they show out. I think more than any school in the nation as far as crowd, as far as representation of what college sports is and
what
should
college
be
baseball
like.
could be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I cannot wait.
What the sport of baseball period.
Greenville's such a great town. It is the epitome of a great college town. And we can't wait for Mike Houston because he's got this program rolling.
Look, Coastal Carolina is getting a lot of credit for that mullet action and that teal turf. Let's be honest. They're the wannabe ECU.
They are. And look, I love what they're doing. Grayson McCall, Jamie Chadwell.
They're fun.
But you're trying to be us.
ECU's been doing that for a long time.
Trying to be us.
When you're ripping down other teams' goalposts at their home stadium.
Oh yeah.
Then that's the spirit of ECU.
And they suspend the rivalry like the cowards they are at NC State. Well, they put you back on the schedule. They put us back on the schedule. We'll see how that shakes out for them. All right. I'm already getting excited for week 1 and at 9 a.m. over here on the West, noon on the East when NC State comes into G Vegas.
Man.
Risky
move.
Can't wait. Okay, let's get into it. Patty C. My Pirates. Mike Houston. It has been just a complete project with him, and he'll be the first to tell you that. I've heard him on many publications saying, hey, He's just 14 and 19 in 3 years, but coming off of a 7-5 season with their first bowl eligible season in quite a while because Scotty Montgomery really had this program in a bad spot. I mean, Houston was outspoken saying our offensive line and defensive line has nobody early on. Well, last year was the first year he was saying, I'm starting to get it where I want it to be.
Yeah.
Especially the offensive line. I've heard him this past offseason saying the defensive line is finally getting to where we have a deep rotation. I think it's a strength of this team besides a couple other positions, the running back spot, the quarterback spot. But
let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Are you a believer in the rebuild, passing the eye test, and Mike Houston as a coach?
Yeah, because last year I am, and I remember what he did at the Citadel when he beat South Carolina. I
know Ryan, JMU, a winner at every spot he's gone, and he's turning this thing around at ECU now.
And even if you look at last year, I mean, we kind of got in our way early in the year with some turnovers. But I really felt like we should have beat South Carolina. We lost 20-17 in a game that we were up the whole fucking game. We beat Marshall at Marshall. That was a big win for us. We beat Tulane. We lost. That's another thing. Look at the losses last year. Okay, 14-point loss to App State week 1. I felt like turnovers got us. App State was the flat out better team. We watched that. Right. But the South Carolina game, we lose by 3 at the Moon Bounce in Orlando. We lose by 4. Right.
Yeah.
In overtime against Houston, we should have won this game. We should have never went to overtime. We lost by 7. Right.
Yeah.
And then we got kicked, pretty bad by Cincinnati, but okay.
They went to the playoff.
My point is that we're very close to being a 10-win team.
Yeah. I mean, aside from a couple close wins, Marshall, Charleston Southern,
Charleston Southern
unnecessarily close. Navy pretty close, but other than that, pretty convincing wins. A couple close losses. If things move in the right direction, you're right. A couple close losses can become a couple close wins.
Well, especially when you have Holton Ahlers coming back, who's a super senior quarterback. That's still his dad's the play-by-play guy there in Greenville. Love it. It's a family affair, Patty C. So honestly, I really do love that we're bringing Holton Ahlers back, and I think to me, offensive line, defensive line, quarterback reps always so important, and getting Holton Ahlers back is, I think, one of the keys to us being successful this season. What do you make of Ahlers? I know he's a lefty. He's kind of awkward.
Started now?
I think this is his 4th year starting.
That's quite a bit of experience. 37 starts. I thought I saw.
Because COVID wasn't
a full year, but still, that's quite a bit of experience coming back. Coach wise, it's who is it? Kirkpatrick. He's been there for 3 or 4 years now, since 2019 as the OC/QB coach. So there's continuity there to go along with Ahlers. The offense, if he's healthy.
Look what they did last year: 54th in scoring offense, 63rd in rush offense, 24th in pass offense, 39th in overall offense. And that's what I mean. Like, it was coming on as the season prolonged.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I really feel like we're on the verge of something good. Keaton Mitchell, star running back from a year ago, is back, and then we still have Rahjai Harris.
He's the leading returning rusher in the conference.
But Harris, the year before, rushed for over 1,000 yards, so we have 2,000 yards backs. We did lose all 3 wideouts. Snead coming out early was a fucking blow. Did not see that one coming, as he's probably playing right now for the Frankfurt Galaxy. But he is gone.
No shame in that game, but probably not what he had in mind.
I just couldn't believe he came out early too, because I think he had 2 years of eligibility, if memory serves me correct. And I was like, "What are you doing, dude? What are you doing? You're like a slot wideout. Like, what are you doing?"
Same agents that were pushing high schoolers out the door in the NBA back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, man. He talked to someone drunk at the bar and
dangle that money.
Tight end. So we're breaking in 3 new wideouts. But I think they're not going to be new wideouts because of where they're coming from. Tight end Shane Calhoun is back. 3 of 5 starters on the O-line are back, and like Mike Houston said a season ago, he liked the depth of the O-line. This year he feels like defensive line. So I think the line of scrimmage is going to be one of the strengths for the Pirates. Blake Harrell, what's that?
I can say, having watched Houston's body of work pretty closely, he's a complete coach, and he takes the trenches seriously. And JMU is always very physical. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, he won one national championship and he came damn close to winning another. And they were legit in all phases of the game. I really think he's a great coach, and we're gonna see if he can take another step forward.
Yeah, and the defense, I think, is one of the big things. Blake Harrell, the defense coordinator there, he's doing a good job. A perfect example last season. If I rattle off the stats here, scoring defense 58th, rush defense 81st, pass defense 73rd, overall D 80th. Now that's not good, but it is really good when you consider how bad they were. It's been a work in progress. Last year they allowed 9 fewer points per game than the season before. That's a huge upkick.
That is massive. 9 points.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That's called getting blown out 2 years ago to being competitive this year.
And I expect this defense. I love how aggressive that he's probably my favorite coordinator that we have, because he is very aggressive on the defensive side of the ball. They're going to send blitzes. They're going to get beat sometimes where they give up 80-yard touchdowns, but I love it. We're coming at them each and every play.
At ECU, do you play with the weak card?
Yeah, you don't play with a weak card. You go. You write it. All right. and Blake Harrell's writing it. The defensive line should be good, led by defensive tackle Elijah Morris. Linebacking core, 2 of 3 are back, led by Miles Berry. Now the secondary is the question mark. Can we bring in enough guys? Could we return just 1 of 4, and that's cornerback Malik Fleming. Our kicker's back, but the secondary, I think, is the question. We had some good corners, some good secondary play a season ago, but it's got to improve. 80th in the country defensively is still not where we want to be, Patty C. Now I say we because I believe that I am part of this team, Patty C. We're going to talk more. We're going to talk recruiting. We're going to talk the transfer portal. We're going to talk about Greenville, North Carolina, the greatest college environment in all of America, Patty C. All right. But first I got to get us paid. The college football experience, East Carolina Pirates 2022 season preview on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, presented by WynnBET. Bet $50 at WynnBET and get $200 in free bets. Bet big, win bigger with WynnBET. Download the WynnBET app now or visit wynnbet.com. That's WYNNBet.com and start winning today. We're also brought to you by Sleeper. You already play fantasy on Sleeper, but now you can win cold hard cash with their brand new over/under game. Just head to sleeper.com/SGP on your phone to join the SGPN group, and Sleeper will automatically match your first deposit up to $100. That's sleeper.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by Trade Coffee. Trade Coffee connects customers to the freshest and best tasting coffee they've ever made at home by partnering with the country's best craft roasters. Yes, these are independent businesses from big cities and small towns. Trade customers are truly impactful for these independent roasters, often being the largest source of new growth. And get this, it's expert tasted. All right. It's like when you go down to Greenville. All right. You learn how to party. All right. Trade Coffee's team actually taste tests thousands of coffees to
That's a party. That's an ECU kind of party.
That's what I'm saying.
You're taste testing everything. Might be beer at ECU.
Yeah. Might be beer and liquor.
It's coffee at Trade Coffee, but
Right?
it is a party nonetheless.
Exactly. 450 different kinds. I mean, come on. You go walk into a random ECU party. First off, probably gonna be bigger. Probably gonna have more than 450 people, and you're probably gonna have more than 450
Types of alcohol.
types of alcohol
Or other,
or other paraphernalia, or other narcotics.
Favors.
Right?
All sorts.
You just got to do it. All right. There's no perfect coffee, but there's a perfect coffee for you. And Trade's human powered algorithm will find it for you. Right now, Trade is offering new subscribers a total of $30 off your first order plus free shipping when you go to drinktrade.com/SGP. That's more than 40 cups of coffee for free. Get started by taking their quiz at drinktrade.com/SGP and let Trade find a coffee that you'll love. That's drinktrade.com/SGP for $30 off. We're also brought to you by IP Vanish. Did you know that browsing online using incognito mode doesn't actually protect your privacy? That's right. Without added security, you might as well be giving away all your private data to hackers, advertisers, your ISP, and other prying eyes. That's why here at SGPN Studios, we use IP Vanish VPN. It makes it truly easy to stay private and secure on the internet. IP Vanish helps you safely browse the internet by encrypting 100% of your data. That means your details, your emails, your passwords, your communications, your browsing history, and more will be completely shielded from falling into the wrong hands. Even your physical location will be hidden. IP Vanish makes you virtually invisible online. So go to ipvanish.com/SGP and use that promo code SGP and claim 70% off your savings. That's ipvanish.com/SGP. Shout out to East Carolina. I mean, this is the school. This is what we're talking about, Patty C.
What would you say the greatest moment in ECU history was?
Like on campus, or like for me, or for the sports? I would say, I mean, there's many. I would say beating Miami when I think they were number 1 in the nation, if memory serves me correct, or number 2. One of
certainly pretty high.
That was a Thursday night, and Miami was dumb enough to play at Greenville
on a Thursday.
Yes,
that's just asking
that was
for it.
just
yeah.
That place was bananas.
Yeah.
But I would say that's got to be up there.
On
Obviously, the
list.
Steve Logan year when they were 11-1, and really probably, I thought if we had a large playoff, we would have been a very dangerous team.
Yeah.
You know, if you look, there was Robert Jones, the linebacker from the Cowboys, Carlester Crumpler at tight end,
That was
Jeff Blake.
That was Blake was quarterback.
Jeff Blake was quarterback. That was a really good team, man.
Yeah.
So I would say those, but also, I mean, there's certain years that team that moment against Virginia Tech for me personally,
the block punt.
The block punt. I mean, there was a lot of years we beat Virginia Tech, but there was a year that
shout out to Sean Glennon.
Yeah, I was at. Well, East Carolina almost fumbled away that they should have won that game before that moment. Like East Carolina kind of fumbled away that game. They threw a pick 6 late in that thing, but
Tech is gonna Tech. Hokies are gonna Hokie. They're gonna.
But they were like preseason top 10 or 12 or something.
They're gonna do what they do. Their offense is gonna suck. Their special teams and defense is gonna keep them in the games. Only this time, ECU pulled a Hokies.
Yes,
on
blocked
the
them. So essentially, Virginia Tech, like ECU was up the entire game, and Virginia Tech somehow scored. I want to say it was a pick 6, late in that
Sounds
game.
right. Yeah.
Late in that game, and all of a sudden Virginia Tech had this lead, and I'm at a Virginia Tech bar, and there was about probably 3 minutes left, or the clock going down to. So Virginia Tech had the ball. We had to get a stop with 3 minutes left. So the clock gets down to like 120, 150, something like that. And people are already celebrating because they're like Virginia Tech's offense hadn't been. It's kind of a ground and pound with Patrick Pinckney back then.
Run out the clock, punt it away if you have to.
Well, no, punt it away because ECU is not going to be. They don't have an aerial attack.
Yeah.
Our team had Chris Johnson.
It was like 14 to 10 at that point.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah.
So we blocked the punt, return it for a touchdown, and then that game was in Charlotte actually.
Yeah.
So I mean, but the crowd was still going crazy.
You're parading around the bar, I'm sure.
Oh, that was just a great experience. Yeah, definitely don't remember what happened that night. Think I might have woke up, randomly on a street somewhere. But
the only way to do it.
That's the way to do it.
It's the ECU way.
That is the way to do it. And here we are talking East Carolina Pirates. Patty C, the transfer portal. Mike Houston is a culture guy, but over the past 2 years, he's really, and I think this team, you're going to start to see some of these key transfers come in that I think could have a big impact. I look at what he's done first on the offensive side of the ball. Got some offensive line depth with Parker Moore from West Virginia, also Justin Redd from Norfolk State, also Avery Jones from North Carolina. That was a pretty high recruit there. At tight end, Aaron Jarman's coming in from Temple. The wide receiver position, clearly a weakness after all those, after getting hit by some graduations. Also, Snead coming out early. So they went out and they got Jalen Johnson from Georgia. They got Jari Patterson from Marshall, which I think Jahari Patterson it will be a starter. I think for game 1 there. They also got Isaiah Winstead from Toledo and Jarrett Garner from Duke. So just loading up on some receiving talent there. Also got running back Kamaro Edmonds, a 4-star from North Carolina. So I think that adding that depth to that stable of running backs, and then on the defensive side of the ball, keep an eye out on Shadre Mims, a grad transfer from Charleston Southern, played against ECU last year. I think he's going to be an impact player. Also, linebacker Chance Bates comes in from Kennesaw State, who was a really good FCS program a year ago. Also, linebacker Michael Edwards from Georgia Southern. April Washington, a corner from Buffalo, a Leopold guy. Jack Powers. Look, you think you need 24 hours to save the Jack Bauer needs 24 hours to save. Look, well, linebacker Jack Powers needs nothing.
Needs 12 hours. Needs 2 hours.
2 hours to save East Carolina from becoming a fucking 12-0 playoff contender. All right, shout out to Jack Powers coming in, and also a couple defensive backs from Marshall, a linebacker from Michigan State.
Y'all really went in on Marshall on the transfer.
They
portal.
did. They did.
Took 3 guys from
Doc
Marshall.
Holliday, man. I think when Doc Holliday left, they said, "Hey, let's go over to Greenville.
There it is.
Go down to Greenville. They beat us last year. No, East Carolina beat Marshall. We came back for a second. We were getting our ass kicked that game.
There it is.
What a great game that
You
was.
can't beat them, join them. That's what they say.
That's right. That's right. So talk to me about recruiting, buddy.
Let me take a look over there. We get that pulled up. Recruiting hasn't been Mike Houston's shining star so far. The last 5 years, obviously, he's been only been responsible for the last 3 recruiting cycles, and really like the last 2.
And when you had COVID in there, yeah.
That's a factor. But 89, 80, 74, 102, and 87. Not great, but within the conference, 9, 7, 6, 8, 7. I don't know what to tell you. Their 4-year composite, so that must be an improvement from where they were, because their 4-year composite has gone 9, 9, 7, 7. 2022 composite hasn't come out yet. I imagine it's somewhere in that 7 to 9 range within the conference. Not the most talented team in the American, certainly, but
Not yet until at the end of this year.
working their way up.
Yeah.
And like we said, some guys are development guys.
You see it? You see this? Look, if you're not watching on YouTube, we have this sweet ass graphic. Shout out to our graphics department for the college football
We're
experience.
stepping things up over here.
Subscribe on YouTube to the college football experience as we break down all 131 college football teams. But Patty C, Las Vegas. So I got the over under. It's not even revealing anymore. It says 5 wins for my Pirates. No wonder that town's turning to shit. All right, they're gonna lose their ass on this. They're gonna lose their ass on
Vegas,
this.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry guys. I know I'm a homer, but I did not lock up ECU on the over last year. They were a fringe lock. This year, they're a fucking lock. They're a lock.
Wow.
They're a
Bold
lock,
statement.
They're a lock.
I
They're
mean,
a lock.
might I remind you that this team has won less than 5 games. Let me see this. 5 games or less. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the last 7 years. Only last year did they get
Only
to 7
last
and
year.
5.
So Patty C.
It's easy to see a tide turn.
And we're banking on this tide turning here. Apparently,
It is good. It already turned last year.
it did turn.
Winning culture is winning culture.
5
Mike
wins
Houston's
does
building it.
seem doable.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, I actually think we have a shot to play Cincinnati or UCF in the AAC Championship.
That would take some doing. Like you said last year, a 3-point loss against South Carolina in a game they probably should have won.
up the whole fucking game.
Yeah. A 4-point loss at the Moon Bounce against
Yeah.
UCF.
Now that one, I don't want to say like we should have won that game, but we were right there in it.
Yeah. And
The
an
Houston
overtime
game we
loss
should have won.
at Houston.
Should have won that game. That was a brutal game.
Man, yeah. Cincinnati was the only really bad loss. I guess App State was kind of a 2 touchdown
App State
loss.
was just flat out better than us last year, but I think towards the end of the year we were a different team than the beginning of the year. So here we go, Patty C. Week 1. I've seen publications have NC State ranked number 4 in the nation. Oh my God.
That is ripe for heartbreak. That's
Take
probably,
me to Dowdy Ficklin Stadium now.
That's almost like a script written just to break
Yeah.
NC State's heart.
It is, dude.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. 9 a.m. on the West, noon on the East to start the college football season. Week 1. You're going to have the Wolfpack come into Greenville? I got news for you, Wolfpack fans, Wolfpack, alumni, Wolfpack current staff. You guys are going to have to deal with the goalpost coming down again if you come into Greenville thinking you're going to get a dub here, because I'm telling you, Patty C.
Second most played rivalry all time. ECU trails 13-18, at least as far back as since they've been in Division 1.
Scotty Montgomery let it slip up a little bit, but
ECU has won 3 of the last 5, but
yeah,
the last 2 NC State has gotten.
yeah,
And they've been bad.
I know.
3-58 and 6-34 the last 2.
That's look. You can't.
2018
Scotty
and
Montgomery
2019
was paid by Duke to come into ECU and destroy the program. We're getting back to basics here. Upset.
Let's hope Mike Houston's got
Who you taking?
I'm tempted to go upset, but if I'm doing this like if I'm trying to give the bettors out there an honest shake, I guess you got to go NC State here. But if I had a hunch on one of the week 1 upsets that can most likely happen, especially knowing how much ECU loves to beat NC State, of course this is probably the one I would go with. But I guess I got to go NC State.
Patty C's wrong, and look, let me just cue up this for his statement.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
Keep in mind, we're talking
everyone in this room
to the ultimate
is now
ECU homer
for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Okay.
And there's a chance that NC State puts up no points when they take on the East Carolina Pirates. Woo! All right, let's go. ECU 1-0. Old Dominion comes. Ricky Ronnie.
Now this next 5 games, I think they push for the season on.
Old Dominion comes down to Dowdy Ficklin.
And they got to do it here because the second half of this schedule is hard as hell.
This is a dub for ECU. ECU goes to 2-0. You got him at 1-1.
I got 1-1.
Then Mike Minter, who's been recruiting really well at Campbell. The Camels come into Greenville. A lot of Camels down there in North Carolina.
3-8 at the FCS level last year. Pencil this one in as a big fat W for ECU.
So we move to 3-0. 2-1 for you.
Yep.
Navy comes to Dowdy Ficklin. We won at Navy last year, but I'll be honest, Navy in the triple option always is a tough go. I feel like Navy gets the better of ECU a lot of those years. Even with Lincoln Riley, I feel like Navy was destroying ECU.
I am tempted to take a look at the history of this. I'll let you know in just a second.
Well, I think Mike Houston brought the toughness in.
Oh man.
Yeah.
They got a win last year, but prior to that, 1-7 prior to that.
Because Ruffin, McNeil, and Montgomery struggled against them.
5 straight losses against Navy prior to last year. So Mike Houston really accomplishing something by winning that game.
Man. Toughness.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. We beat Navy and Dowdy Ficklin.
I think they get it done at home too. Yeah, I agree.
I got them 4-0. Patty C, the over under is 5, and we go to South Florida where we smacked the tar out of them last year. No one shows up to those games in Tampa.
Yeah. Although I hear they're going to put a stadium on campus in Tampa.
Not on October 1st.
Yeah, it won't be ready by then. But
they should though.
Good for USF taking it seriously. ECU.
I got them 5-0 to start.
I got them 4-1. Tough little trip potentially here to Tulane.
Beat them last year by a good amount of points, but Tulane, if they can repair that offensive line, I think will be a dangerous team.
52-29 in Greenville last year. Going down to New Orleans, is that going to make a difference?
You know what? I'll even play the game here.
You're giving the L?
Take a win off there.
All right. Well, I'm going to give them a win. So we both have them at 5-1.
They get Memphis with Silver Chest coming into town, and look, Memphis. We beat them in Memphis last year. I think we're a more physical football team. I think
30-29 in overtime.
I think Memphis doesn't want to play us in Greenville. That's a win.
That might be a win in Greenville. That might be 50-50.
And then
I'm giving them an L. I'm going to play devil's advocate. I'll give them the L there.
Okay, we give them an L, but this is the sneakiest game here. Because UCF
both already have them pushing, but
UCF has Cincinnati on deck. It's the greatest look ahead spot. The greatest look ahead spot. I love where we have UCF.
UCF has Cincinnati on deck?
Yes.
Oh man.
And they have to come to Dowdy Ficklin?
Yep. That's dangerous.
Upset special. And that could be the difference in us getting to the AAC championship. If we have that tiebreaker.
I'll tell you what. Between Memphis, UCF, and Houston, all in Dowdy Ficklin, they're going to get one of them.
No, we're going to get 2. We're going to go. Memphis isn't good anymore, dude. All right. You keep trying to sell this Silver Chest guy to me. All right.
Memphis 6-6 last year. Not great. Okay. Anyway, so you think they'll get 2? I say they'll get at least 1, which automatically.
I think we could get 3. I think Memphis is like a legit win. I don't even stress that. The UCF and Houston games, we're going to have to earn that.
Yeah.
But I think both being in Dowdy Ficklin, I think we're in a great spot for both. Now, Friday, October 28th on national TV, we are at BYU. Now, I do think we lose that.
That's an L. Yeah.
And then we get a bye week before Cincy. Now I still think it's at Nippert. Cincy's probably going to roll us.
Yeah.
Right. So
tough little 3-week stretch. I mean, I guess you get a bye week in there, but
well, then we get Houston and Dowdy Ficklin. We should have beat Houston in Houston last year. I think we get him in Dowdy.
yeah.
And then we're at Temple. That's a that's a it could be cold.
How
Could
many?
be cold.
How many? I mean, they should beat Temple even on the road.
I think we're at 8-4, 9-3 team, and I think we can contend for an AAC championship this year. Not the 1 seed. The 1 seed is going to be Cincinnati, but now there's no divisions anymore.
Yeah.
I think we can be that number 2 team. I really do, especially if we take care of UCF the week before Cincinnati, because it's a great. When I saw the schedule release, I was like, this is a perfect spot to catch UCF.
Yeah.
They're going to be thinking about Cincinnati, and they got to come into a lit environment. Let's do it.
It is, and they'll probably be. I mean, they're definitely going to be in position to be playing for the AAC. They're going to be completely occupied with Cincinnati mentally, which is a big mistake for a spoiler team like ECU, type of team that's going to take full advantage of it. I'm not as bullish as you. It's not that I think you're wrong. It's just I think you're prone to give them the 50-50 games.
Well, yeah, I did give them NC State. That could go. That could light me up. But at the same time, I also think we could beat Tulane. I gave Tulane a win against
That's
ECU.
true. I think 7-5 is very reasonable. If you look at Mike Houston's history as a coach at Lenore Ryan, 7-3, 9-3, 13-2 at the Citadel, 5-7, 9-4. At JMU, he started off so hot, it's tough to match. But
Yeah.
he won the championship in his first year, and I guess they I'm pretty sure they lost early in the season in his first time, and then he went on like a 28 game win streak or something, and then finally lost to or like a 25 game win streak, and finally lost in the national championship. 9-4 his third year, so that was the first time in his career he really took a step back from a record standpoint. But at ECU, 4-8, 3-6, which is technically I guess the same exact win percentage. And then at 1/3, and then 7-5. So taking steps forward again.
Would have been 8-5 had Boston College not faked injury.
That's true. But 7-5, if they can at least match that again, 7-5 is a nice season. But 8-5, you're saying
This team is better this year than they are
8-4,
last year.
You're saying maybe 9-3 even.
Yes, I don't like. To me, when I look, the flat out losses to me are just at BYU and at Cincinnati.
Yeah,
I think every other game is potentially winnable. Now, at the same time. Let's play devil's advocate. Let's say we lose to NC State, 1, right? Say we lose to UCF, 2. Say we lose, obviously BYU and Cincinnati. That's 4, and Houston, 5. You're still 7-5.
Let me say this: their road schedule is super manageable.
That's what I'm saying.
At South Florida, at Tulane, obviously BYU and Cincy are losses, like you said, but then at Temple being the other one. So the tougher teams in the conference, which would be Memphis, UCF, and Houston. And Navy are all at home.
Yeah, they got to come down to the pirate ship where they're going to get their ass kicked.
And they got NC State at home. They got 3 non-conference games. They play nine conference games, right?
No.
BYU's not conference.
They have BYU out of conference.
That's pretty
NC
good.
State, Old Dominion, 3 bowl teams out of 4 games out of conference.
But to get 3 of those at home as a group of 5, and 2 of those teams are Power 5 quality programs.
Yeah.
ECU doing some good scheduling there.
You heard it first. Give me the over. This is a lock. There's look, I think to me, worst case scenario, Holton Ahlers is injured. 6-6 or 5-7 is still the floor to me.
Yeah.
So I'm all over the over.
Yeah. I think a push is the very worst you're going to do here. Smash the over,
Pirates, baby. Pirates, baby. Do I just need to just cue this up
one more time?
One more time for the folks out there.
We believe in the pirates, in the spirit of ECU.
That's right, folks. We are both on the over. It is a lock for me. Lock it up. You will hear me talking about this one come August. All right, on our lock special show. But make sure you subscribe to the College Football Experience. We're available on all platforms. You can listen to podcasts. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube page, the College Football Experience, as we break down all 131 FBS teams. And can't wait to talk all these teams with you, folks. All right, so let's get to it. If you give us a 5-star review on iTunes, make sure you take a screenshot and find us on Twitter at TCE on SGPN or at the Colby D, and show us that review, and we will send you a College Football Experience t-shirt. If you're on YouTube, basically that logo right there will be the t-shirt. So do that. Also get the SGPN app. You'll get access to all of our podcasts. Me, Patty C, and NC Nick, who's on vacation right now. But all three of us, we also host the college basketball experience. We also host the college baseball experience. Me and Noah B. Nick. I know ECU, big college baseball season, and it seems like kind of a blue blood when it comes to that. College basketball hired a new coach. We will be talking about that as the season heats up. As the off season heats up, we got you covered. Also, plenty of other. We also do the USFL Gambling Podcast. Subscribe to that as that season continues to roll on. The SGPN app will have access to all of these podcasts. The MLB Gambling Podcast and the Sports Gambling Podcast covers the NFL like as good as anyone, if not better. So check that out. And there's just so many great platforms. NASCAR Gambling Podcast, CFL Gambling Podcast, just so many good ones. Check them all out, folks.
Down in Greenville probably appreciate the NASCAR.
Yeah, why not? Anything to drink.
There you go.
All of them, man. MLB, just watch some sports, drink, sit back, kick back. Golf Gambling Podcast.
Win some money.
Yeah. Subscribe, check out all those ones, man. All right, folks. Well, until we see Saturday, September 3rd. I might have to fly over there and take down that goalpost myself, Patty C. This is the college football experience, East Carolina Pirate style. You better start thinking about yours, and we out of here.